So it's 9 a.m. Haven't slept last night. Still can't sleep. Don't know why. Don't know what to do about it. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a video. Make a video because that's what I'm good at. Going to entertain some people. And what better way to entertain people than with first world problems? Because here in my country, most people are worried about how they can survive the next day. You know, how they can scrap a little bit more money to pay for the electricity bill, how to put food on the table. You know, like these are the meager problems that people in Romania face with. And when I go on the BBC and I see things like this, I'm like, wow, I wish my country was so developed like Britain so that I can worry about problems like this. So why are single women still mistaken for prostitutes? This is an interesting question. Bit of a loaded question. Like, why do you beat your wife? It's like, has there been a study or a statistic done? No, of course not. We're just going to listen to some cherry-picked events, or probably a one-off thing at best. And it's going to get credence. Why? Because it's written on the BBC. And that's why. So, let's see what's this about. In the age of #MeToo, like, I genuinely don't understand why the progressives use the Me Too as some sort of victory badge instead of an emblem of shame. Because I've looked in the mainstream media and I looked at the people who got convicted because of Me Too, overwhelmingly progressives. Like, someone should actually make a study about this, right? Like, the overwhelming amount of people where the magic of Me Too seems to have struck is Hollywood, academia, mainstream media, you know, like the places where it's filled with leftists. So I don't know why you're happy about it. I should be happy about it. I'm grateful for the Me Too movement. I don't want it to stop. Like, keep going, por favor. But there are people who think like, oh my god, no, this is great. It's great. Like, yeah, I guess it's great. If you're not a progressive, if you're not a male feminist, it's great. But of course, they're not going to have that conversation on the BBC. That study will never be made. Anyway, so single woman sitting alone, restaurant, shouldn't be a problem. It's not, at least not in my country, but especially if you think if that restaurant is in the middle of New York, one of the most progressive cities on the planet. See, like, again, the more progressive a place gets, the more problems that progressiveness says it's going to fix appear. It's almost as if they don't really notice what causes these problems, and their solutions are actually made to get the problems worse rather than better. Just think about it. If you're a person that's supposed to fight misogyny, or if you're a person that's supposed to fight racism, would you ever want to fix misogyny? Would you ever want to fix racism? Of course not, because then you're out of a job. So you need to keep having these problems appear so that you're useful, so that people rely on you and it gives you power, right? Because you're the guy that can fix things. People need to elect you in a position of power so that you give them solutions to fix things. But anyway, when Clementine Crawford was reportedly told she could no longer sit at the bar of her favorite... Wait. Clementine Crawford. Okay, and this is written by Flora Drury. Flora Drury, what is your relationship to Clementine Crawford? Like, who is this person? Honestly, is this not something that people would like to know? Why are you writing about this particular woman? Like, what is her position? Like, is she an important person? Is she an actress or something? Like, why is it public relevance what Clementine Crawford experienced that fateful day? I'm just curious. Like, I would understand if the journalist would write about her or one of her colleagues or something. Like, shouldn't you disclose what is... No. Journalism, disclosing. She was told she could no longer sit at the bar of her favorite Manhattan restaurant. Oh my fucking lord, the atrocity. She was confused. Yeah, I mean, she's a woman. She doesn't get told not to go places. Imagine if a bouncer would ever tell a woman that she can't go into a nightclub. You know, happened to me, by the way. Happened to my friends. But we have dicks, that's why. You know, like, if you're a guy, there are times where you get to see like 4 or 5 pretty ladies just walking in a club, and when you want to go, it's like, no. And you're like, why? Just what did I do? Do you not like my face? Okay, if you don't like my face, maybe you like the face of this Benjamin I'm going to slip in your pocket. Oh, now I can enter. Okay, thank you. But you know, it's like, and I don't hear men complaining that much about it. Like, you don't hear men whining, oh, I couldn't get into this nightclub because the bouncer didn't like my fit. No, you go somewhere else. But the moment it happens to a woman, oh my God. Why do you think like the bouncer doesn't let you in? Because you look unsavory, that's why. Because you look shady. Because they think you're going to go in there and cause problem. You know, like that's why they don't let you in. But anyway, apparently she was confused, and she wrote later she was even more confused when a man, arriving not long after she had been sat at a table, was allowed to take a seat at the very same bar. Horrible. A man could enter and she could not. Again, the bouncer reference. It was only, she said, she says, when she pushed for a reason that she was told that the owner had ordered a crackdown on hookers. And I bet she was like, oh, why I never? There are so many cases where a guy walks with his son in an inn, or a guy walks with his son in public, and people assume that he's a pedophile and call the cops. Like, I have read those articles. I have read this, and I'm pretty sure people like you, dear listener, have read as well. What is the outrage about it? It's like, I love the fact every single inconvenience, like every single slight, needs to be some form of oppression. It needs to be like, oh, look how bad it is. Oh my God. Oh, she thought I was a slut. Okay, don't go to that bar. Stop going there. I wouldn't go there if someone would disrespect me like that. I just really don't understand. Why is there an article on the BBC about a woman getting insulted? Oh, wow, like I never get insulted ever because I'm a man. I managed to get through life without any single insults. Jesus. Clementine, who divides her time between London and New York for her job, pushed, a bourgeoisie white woman. Now I know why she's in the BBC. How much did she pay in order to get this article done? Pushed for her right to sit at the bar alongside her single male counterparts. Wow, like the struggle was real. But instead of a groveling apology, her arguments were met with a shrug. She left the restaurant, a place she loved, place where the waitress had known her name, and now a place she no longer felt welcome. Wow, I wonder how she manages to deal with this traumatic event. Again, like in my country, people struggle to put food on the table, but in Britain, women can't get into their favorite bar. Horrible! All these years we have been battling for a room of one's own, she wrote. Little did we know, but we are still fighting for a seat at the table. I see what she did there. Do you see? It's like the seat at the table, the EU reference. Oh my God! Just turns out that she is left-leaning, probably. Just so happens. Eating alone as a single woman, for many, a daunting process. Yeah, I know. Being a guy with your son in public, a daunting process. I get it. Except one of them gets the cops called on you. The other one just gets people to kick you out of the bar. The protective barrier of a book, or more recently a phone, makes it easier. Somehow you feel less exposed, less vulnerable. Okay, but this is about you. Like, I don't care about how you feel. Like, no one, look, I am willing to bet this is a one-off. You know what? I'm sure I have some ladies in the comment sections. You know, like maybe like this is something that I don't experience because I'm a man. Ladies, tell me, have you ever been called a slut because you're at the bar sitting alone? Just let me know. I'm genuinely bewildered by this behavior because I have bartenders that are friends, right? Because every single time they say, oh, you can't mansplain, right? Because you're not a guy, it doesn't happen to you. It's like, look, listen. If I'm the guy, I'm the one that's supposed to do these things to women. Like, have I missed the memo? Was there a gathering of the male united at one point and I missed it? And they say, you know what? When we go out and we see women dining alone, we need to call them sluts. Because I didn't get that memo, all right? I don't think none of my friends got the memo. And as soon as some important shit, do I need to start doing it? Because apparently it's on the BBC. Jesus. Clementine tells the BBC it may be more common than we think. So do a freaking study on it. Surely you have the money. Oh my God, we need to fix the issue. Since the article was published, a number of women, including women who live in modern-day Manhattan, have declared they experience similar treatment into a number of different settings and are relieved that a voice has been given to the hashtag small stuff. No, trust me, like this is This is big. Like, this is huge. This is humongous stuff. Can you imagine? What's her name? Jesus, I need to write it down. Clementine Crawford got kicked out of a bar. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Like, breaking news. BBC. This is where the British taxpayer is going. All right? Just so you know. Like, every single day that you're a British person, if you don't pay your license, the scariest thing in your life can be a knock on the door. Oh, you got a license for that laptop, mate. You got a license for that Apple tablet. Got a license. You need to pay the license so they can write things like this. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You know what? I need to pitch this to Sargon, to pitch it up the chain to Garrett Batten, to campaign on the fact to make BBC a private friggin' station, so they can have actual commercials and they can suffer the full wrath of the free market. What do you guys think about that? Huh? Isn't this a good idea? Like, BBC, get your freaking commercials. What are you doing? Like, why do you want handouts? You're like that little guy, you know, the raggedy dog going up with your hand raised like a beggar. You're like a beggar going to the people and going like, give me money. Go fucking work. Put some advertisers to work on your ads. Jesus. What, seriously, isn't this like a little bit demeaning to see the BBC like going house to house begging for people for like, give me your pounds. What is this shit? I travel myself a lot. US travel blogger definitely recognized feeling exposed when dining by herself. I travel myself a lot and had times where people look at me like I'm waiting for a customer, she told the BBC. Okay, you know what? If you'd want people to stop looking weird at you, tell your other girlfriends to stop going out like they're a herd. Every single time women go out, they go out like they're a herd. You know what? Tell them to stop doing that, and then people will not look weird. It's like, why is this one like not the others? You know, like people like to see pattern. Like the human brain is designed to see patterns, and every time you see girls outside, you see them going with the group, and then you see that odd one, like that particular one, and she's alone, and you go like, why? Why is she alone? You know, and you're like, oh, how dare you think? How dare your brain work? It's like, but no one called you a slut, right? Because like this is the shocking thing about this article. Like, she was called a slut. Like, yeah, okay, you know, like in my country it can happen, right? You see a girl that's alone and people go like, the fuck? But now I can't even go, the fuck? Oh, the fuck police is here. Oh yeah, you're not allowed. How dare you? You know, ask questions. You should pretend it's normal. But there have also been more blatant incidents where there was no mistaking exactly how she, a single woman of Nigerian origin, was seen even when dressed in jeans and a jumper. I think Rome was possibly my worst experience. Italia. Oh, bueno. Who won the vote in Italy? What party? I'm waiting under a bus stop sign, and every 5 or 10 minutes a car would slow down as it passed. So they didn't even have the courtesy of wolf whistling. They just slowed down. How dare they slow down in her presence? The balls on these people to slow. Do you not know who she is? She is a woman of Nigerian origin, you twat. She dresses up in jeans and a jumper. How dare you slow down your car? What do you think you are? Like, honestly. Finally, I got on the bus. And then she noticed women claiming their corner, and they literally looked like me. Okay. Gloria has also decided to write about her experiences on her blog. Please do. The car slowing menace. This is what we need to... Fuck me. Like, honestly, these people have such amazing lives that they have absolutely nothing left to complain about. And they're like, I would say scraping the bottom of the barrel, but I don't think there is even a barrel anymore. Like, they just used it all. They used it because they complained so much. Now there's nothing to complain. It's like, not even a wolf whistle. Give me a cat call. Give me something. Jerk a tear out of my eye, woman. Not even that. Car slowing down. Okay. I'm sure that maybe it's not her perception. I mean, is it possible? Like, what if, like, here's a astonishing thought, right? Like, now this is quite bewildering, right? Bus stations are usually close to crossroads most of the time, right? What if the car was slowing down in order to make sure that there isn't ongoing traffic from the opposite lane? No. Clearly not. Clearly not. They were slowing down to look at. You know what would be really funny, by the way? Like, this would be even more funny. I would put it in a comedy sketch. What if next to her was an actually very stunning, very attractive Italian woman, and all the cars were slowing down to look at the other girl, and she was like, "Oh, why I never." What are all these cars are slowing to look at me? Man, like, you can make so much comedy out of this. I'm amusing myself. I don't know if you guys are amused. The assumption of a single woman by herself must be a sex worker. No, look, they got... Men are visual creatures. Sometimes they get a boner when they look at you, and you know what? There's nothing you can do about it because it's legal. And probably the man can't do anything about it either because it's got a mind of its own. So you're going to have to talk with their dick and tell the dick, like, can you please stop growing in my presence? I'm sure the dick will listen. Last year, Sherry Collins, the founder and editor of Industrial Bible Pitch, revealed she has been asking how much for the night by a man during an event. Oh no. Oh, horrible. Oh my God, she met a rude person. Oh. How long is this article? What the fuck? As a result, she decided to take out a full-page advert on the back page of her magazine. We are back, creative women heading to Canes. Please do not ask us how much for the night. Look, if someone asks you how much for the night, he is being a rude, disrespectful twat. You telling him that you don't want him to ask you is not going to fix anything. They know it's socially unacceptable to ask something like that. I don't know why they do it. I'm not that kind of guy, but, like, I'm just saying your methods are not going to fix the problem. You know what fixes the problem? Telling a guy friend of yours to have a very stern conversation with the gentleman. That's what would fix the problem. A little bit of toxic masculinity. That fixes everything. Jesus fucking Christ, I'm going to choke on my own spit. Like, this article is literally killing me. You know, why did I decide to read this at 9 a.m. in the morning? Holy hell, like, this is just such, I don't know, like, intellectual masturbation for women, I guess? It's like, oh, look how oppressive life is. Oh, cars are slowing down when I'm walking by. Oh my God, did this happen to you? Yes, it happened to me. Oh, what a world, what a world. Oh my God, like, I just literally can't believe. And you know, in my life, a friend of mine just died of a heart attack because he was doing construction work, right? I mean, like, that in my opinion is a problem. That might be considered an issue. But, you know, at least I guess I don't have to suffer the horrors of having cars slowing down when I walk. You know what, like, now that I'm thinking, like, I would actually want that. Like, am I weird? Like, tell me, guys, would you not want ladies that are driving cars to slow down when you're at the bus stop? Would you not want that oppression? I know I want it. Am I weird? I'm probably weird like that. You know, like, that actually happens. You know, you think that what I'm saying is foolishness. But no, there are, like, actual male models, you know, those guys that... are hired to play in movies and stuff like that. Like, for example, the guy who played Aquaman. You know, like, of course ladies stop and take a gander at him. You know, football players, like, there are guys that, you know, get to experience all the hardships that women do. I wish I was one of those guys. Anyway, don't let me know what you think this time. This was just like a random video that I made. But I do have subscribe star. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if you want. Also subscribe. And I'll see you all later tonight on my actual live stream.